Assam has become one of the first few states in the country to add a transgender option in the gender category of civil service examination form. A total of 42 transgender persons have applied for the combined competitive examination. In 2014, a landmark order by the Supreme Court had recognized transgender as third gender who were previously forced to write male or female in forms. The same order also directed the transgender to be admitted into education institutions and seek employment under the third gender or other category. Despite the Supreme Court verdict, the policy had not been implemented anywhere. Therefore, the step taken by APSC now is seen as a step forward towards achieving equal rights for transgenders. Recently, the Yogi Adityanath government in UP, in a step forward, had dedicated the Noida Sector 50 metro station for the transgender community. This initiative was taken to give the transgender an opportunity to connect with the mainstream sections of the society. Reports suggest that trans persons in India often choose to retain their gender assigned to them at birth in their IDs because the law does not accommodate a third separate gender in property rights or the rights to marry or even adopt a child. Moreover, trans people have also reported hassles like intrusive medical screening examination and multiple forms of identification required by authorities to ascertain whether they are transgender. The trans community continues to struggle on all fronts from marriage registration, buying family insurance, opening joint accounts to the regular social discrimination. Transgender individuals in India often face stigma and systematic exclusion in education and employment. Krishangi Sinha, Democracy News Live, New Delhi.
Good evening, and you're watching Democracy News Live. It's the show It Matters. In 2014, a landmark order by the Supreme Court recognized transgenders as a third gender who were previously forced to write male or female on forms. The same order directed that transgender persons be admitted into educational institutions, have access to jobs. But that didn't change very much because, in spite of the order of the Supreme Court, nobody implemented it. No state government implemented it. Atri Kar went to appear for the civil services examination held by the UPSC. She wasn't allowed to appear for the exam because she had to write male or female on the form. She insisted she went to court, and there was an order that she can appear for the exams. In 2018, Atri Kar became the first transgender person from Bengal to sit in for the civil services examination held by the UPSC. A total of 42 transgender candidates filled the civil services exam application form in Assam. Assam became the first state to introduce transgender as a gender option in the application form. The step taken by Assam is going to go a long way in seeing how transgender community can get its rights. There is an act of the 2014, it's very, very pronounced, but almost no state government has taken action. Today, I'm here to discuss this with a group of people who either belong to the community, fight for the cause, or some of them who work from the outside to make sure that the community gets its rights. First of all is Reshma Prasad. She's a member, National Council for Transgender Persons. Also joining me is Mansi Lakshmi. She's president Arzu Foundation. She's a transgender herself, but again works for the rights of transgender. Also joining me is Kiara Narayan Iyer. She's PR and marketing the Lalit Group of Hotels. Lalit Group of Hotels obviously has been very, very involved and been working for the transgender community. Also joining me is Jyoti Datta. Jyoti Datta formerly used to work for Uber and led a whole team which worked for the transgender community in getting them rights. Also, we're trying to connect, hopefully we would have connected by now, is Dalia. Dalia was one of the first transgender drivers for Uber Eats who was trained, and she's joined us on the show today. Let me first start by asking Kiara. Kiara, explain to me, where do, like, the 2014 Act really didn't deliver very much to the people. The transgender community still sits on the fringes. It's still not able to access all that they talked about in the Act. Why has it taken so long? This is 6 years now.
Hi, Rohit. Thank you so much for having me on the show, first of all. And yes, indeed. it's really quite sad that after the Supreme Court historic judgment in 2014, which has already been passed, and it's more than uh, today we are sitting at 2020, it's more than 6 years now. And nothing has been taken by any of the state government as of now, a step forward to change or to implement what the judgment is all about. I think, more than the negligence, I would say this to be ignorance, because I think a transgender community is one of the most oldest community of our Indian culture, and I think marginalizing just a community like this is not fair. And being apart, they are human, and of course they are born out of a so-called that we called heterosexual cisgender men and women. So I think rather than educating themselves, or rather uh, along parallelly educating themselves, people need to have uh, that focus, that's mindset, to consider them as a part of the society. So the ignorance factor is uh, taken away and moved out of the mind frame. So if this ignorance factor can be tackled, I think we have a long way to go ahead.
Thank you. Let me bring in Reshma here. Reshma, where do we stand with the act? Where do we stand with the law? Why has it taken so long? You guys have been fighting for it, obviously, but why has it taken so long?
एक्चुअली में अ, सबसे ज़्यादा ये मूल बात है कि
जी,
जो अधिकार कहे जाते हैं, महिलाओं ने इस अधिकार के लिए बहुत लड़ा है और हमारे ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी की जो लड़ाई रही है, वो बहुत छोटी रही है और सफलता ज़्यादा रही है। इसलिए लोग जागरूक नहीं हो पाए हैं ट्रांसजेंडर आइडेंटिटी को लेकर के, सबसे ज़्यादा बड़ी बात है। जैसे कि अगर हम बात करती हैं ऑफिसर्स की या जो इम्प्लीमेंटिंग अथॉरिटीज हैं, वहां पे हमारे ट्रांसजेंडर साथी मौजूद नहीं है। तो मैं ज्यादातर चाहती हूं कि सबसे पहले अगर मैं काउंसिल में भी मीटिंग में बात करी कि हर एक जिले में ट्रांसजेंडर वेलफेयर ऑफिस अगर खोल दिए जाते हैं और वहां पे ट्रांसजेंडर प्रतिनिधियों की नियुक्ति अगर हो जाती है, तो निश्चित तौर पे ये बदलाव का कदम होगा और उनके राइट्स को अप्रोच करने के लिए एक स्पेसिफिक स्पेस होगा, वहां पे आवाजें उठा सकेंगे। क्योंकि अभी तक जो भी कुछ दिखाई देता है इस 30 सालों में, सिर्फ एनजीओ के अधिकार दिखाई देते हैं कि वो एक कब्जादारी करके बैठे हुए हैं। और इसके अलावा मतलब उसको किस तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, आप खुद देख सकते हैं कि भारत सरकार नैको नेशनल एड्स कंट्रोल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लगभग 50 से 100 करोड़ के बीच में होमोसेक्सुअल व्यक्तियों के लिए खर्च करती है, उनके एचआईवी एड्स के अधिकारों के लिए। लेकिन आप एकदम से नहीं देखते होंगे, बहुत मुश्किल से कुछ एक राज्यों में कम्युनिटी बेस्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उनके प्रतिनिधि हैं, नहीं तो आपको जो जिस तरीके की स्थितियां बन चुकी हैं, वो बहुत ही मुश्किल की बात है। तो निश्चित तौर पे सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है कि कम्युनिटी का रिप्रेजेंटेशन बढ़ना, और उसके लिए तो उन्हें खुद निकल करके आना होगा। 2016 में सिर्फ एक प्रतिनिधि, एक व्यक्ति आए जो इस एग्जाम को पास करने के लिए उन्होंने एप्लीकेशन दिया। तो सबसे बड़ी बात है कि जो ये ट्रेडिशनल कल्चर है वो कितना अफेक्ट करता है और क्या स्थितियां हैं, किस तरीके के बदलाव होने चाहिए, इस पे जो भी चर्चाएं होती है वो बहुत डर डर करके होती है। जो कम्युनिटी बेस्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के प्रतिनिधि हैं वो भी कुछ ना कुछ अंदर से सहमे से रहते हैं कि हम खुले तरीके से उन मुद्दों पे नहीं बात कर पाती हैं जिससे बदलाव हो सकता है, क्योंकि मुख्य धारा में आने के लिए लोगों की आवश्यकता होगी और वो लोग
जी,
कैसे आ सकते हैं और किस तरीके से आ सकते हैं। अगर हम डिसेबिलिटी की बात करें और वुमेन्स की बात करें, तो मास लेवल पर लोग आए हुए हैं और लड़ रहे हैं अपने अधिकारों के लिए और अपनी
जी,
राइट्स को,
रेशमा,
मतलब अगर एक पोस्ट निकलता है तो आपको 1
रेशमा, let me,
लाख महिलाएं निकल करके
रेशमा,
आएंगी।
रेशमा,
तो
आपने आई
ये
थिंक बहुत
निश्चित
अच्छा
तौर पे
पॉइंट
सबसे
बना है। लेट मी मेरे को इसको जरा व्यूअर्स को समझाने दीजिए। जो रेशमा बोल रही हैं, शी इज ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन टू द कम्युनिटी that representatives of the transgender community need to be established in each district, so that first of all they'll be able to fight for the rights of the transgender community. Right now they're not being represented properly. There are a few NGOs who are involved with it, but they use up the rights and they don't know how to implement it. तो आप जो बोल रही हैं कि ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी की रिप्रेजेंटेशन हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में होना जरूरी है, जिससे वो इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकें राइट्स फॉरवर्ड करके, और उसके बियॉन्ड larger community की education चाहिए. You need a larger, interaction with a larger community. Only if the larger community is involved and they're educated around how to recognize the rights will it be a better situation. Let me go over to Mansi Lakshmi.
मुझे जैसा
Mansi
लगता
Lakshmi.
है
एक सेकंड रेशमा, मैं मानसी को भी ले
मुझे
आऊं
जैसा
फ्रेम के
लगता
अंदर।
है कि जो आपने
जी जी, बताइए।
आपने जैसा कहा कि एजुकेशन की बात है, तो 46% ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी एजुकेशन है उनके पास। आप जो जिस तरीके से लोग देखते हैं उसी तरीके से लोगों को दिखता है। सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है हमें मौके की, मतलब मौके की तलाश है,
अपॉर्चुनिटी,
हमारे लोग
अपॉर्चुनिटी
हैं
है।
और उन्हें
जी
लड़ने के लिए जगह की आवश्यकता है।
जी, नहीं नहीं, रेशमा, मैं कह रहा था कि रिप्रेजेंटेशन की जरूरत है, एजुकेशन की बात नहीं करी मैंने बोला रिप्रेजेंटेशन की जरूरत है।
सॉरी सॉरी
है ना? नो
सॉरी।
प्रॉब्लम, दैट्स फाइन। लेट मी ब्रिंग इन, मैं मानसी लक्ष्मी को लेके आता हूँ। मानसी इज बेस्ड इन मुंबई. She obviously runs a foundation called Arzu Foundation and they work for transgender rights. मानसी, आप मेरे को बताइए कि कितना बड़ा चैलेंज है, महाराष्ट्र अभी तक इम्प्लीमेंट क्यों नहीं कर पाया इस ट्रांसजेंडर एक्ट को? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 2014 में करा था, बोला था इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए, पर अभी तक इम्प्लीमेंट क्यों नहीं हो पाया? I think we've lost Mansi on a technical glitch. Let me go over to Jyoti. Jyoti, you worked for Uber and you worked on a small project where you got the transgender community involved. How important was it as part of your strategy? And how difficult was it? Can you give me a little bit of an understanding of when you actually went out to find, training for Dahlia, and you went and found, ways of actually making sure that she gets a license? How difficult was it?
Right. Hi, Rohit. So mainly, it was back in 2018 that I was working in a project that actually aimed in providing, economical stability to the trans community as well as women's. Right. So it was it was a pan-India based project that I was working in, and I was leading the project along with one of my colleagues, Namami. So initially, we had lots of doubts because we never came in, in contact with a trans community member like so closely. We don't know like how they will, react to us and what would their response be. And we searched all in the Google map, like where to reach them, because they don't have a particular place where they reside in. We just know that okay, Maligaon is an area where the trans community reside. So it was really a challenging time for us to actually get into the main person who was actually holding the whole trans community in Assam. So it's Ms. Swati Bidhan Barua, who is the first trans chief judge here in Assam. So she is the one who actually is the vice chairman of the transgender community all over in Assam. So she is the one who is actually, handling and, providing support to the trans community here. So we have all total
But tell
almost
me,
it's like
Jyoti, what I want to
15,000
understand
plus.
from you, Jyoti, I'm going to interject there. What I want to get from you is how difficult was it to get Dahlia her license? I remember you told me about it.
It was very difficult. It was the most difficult thing to get a license for Dahlia because she did not have any kind of documents apart from her one or two mark sheets, because we don't have a proper system here for the transgender community, right? So because this is just recently that they have added the transcom, like the other section in the examination part. So the trainer was helping us to get the license, and it took almost 6 to 7 months to get a proper license for Dahlia. Like we had to go through lots of hurdles, and at one point of time we felt that it won't be possible for us to get it, because uh, because they actually don't have proper documents to provide support to apply needle. She was a very bright member who was very eager to start with Uber and start her new life, right? Like to leave her bagging career, like a bagging profession, to Uber Eats profession. Like she had so many wish, hopes that her life will change, and along with her all the other trans colleagues or trans members would also come forward looking at her. So but unfortunately, amongst all of them, only Dahlia was the one who actually completed the training and was able to get a proper license. But they couldn't move forward because of these document issues, though she got a license. Like we couldn't complete the project because
And
of
look
this.
at that. So Dahlia, when I met Dahlia and Assam, this was a few years ago now. Uh, she said she wanted to get out of her old way of existence. She didn't want to be a beggar on the street, getting from one bus to the
Yes,
other, and so she wanted to get out of it. It took them so long that it brought her to a point that she had to go back to what she was doing, and
exactly.
she wasn't able to make the transition. This is how the system blocks you. And this is what the recognition needs to exist on a national front, where this whole road map, this road bump needs to be taken away so that people from the transgender community are able to make this trajectory faster. Now, the point Reshma was making, I think, is a very good point. And I think the point she was making is that representation is extremely important at a district level. If we want to really, really believe that we're going to take the transgender community out of this whole old scenario of begging or being in, or even sometimes a lot of them work in prostitution, we want to get them out and we get them on the mainstream. A lot of transgender community are well educated because till a certain age, the transgender community exists within the community. It's only when they sometimes start getting older that they get pushed out, or because they don't can't find themselves at home in the community, they go away to a community where they're accepted more widely. So I think it's a point which Reshma well made. Let me go back here to Kiara. Kiara, on your end, you work at the Lalit Suri Group, and I know you guys have made a tremendous amount of efforts around making sure that the transgender community rights are delivered, and you actually hire a lot of people. Explain to me, what does your group do, and how does it make sure that it gives them a platform to be able to get jobs and exist with respect?
See, first of all, Rohit, as to the point, I'll continue from there where Reshma and you were just discussing about. Of course, the problem basically lies. We need to know where the problem lies, why this verdict has taken so much long time to implement in all the states. Only just not Bihar and just Assam, it's all the states are not implementing it as a whole. The most important thing I believe is that, of course, the transgender community has the basic education which is required. However, the education that we need to talk about out here is for the community as a whole, that is sensitization. A sensitization, as I mentioned earlier, ignorance factor was the main issue of delaying this implementation of this verdict, is just because people are not aware of what the community is all about. And I'm sure if you walk out of the streets, lot of percentage of people won't be able to differentiate between a proper LGBTQIA community. They all think to be the same. So that sensitization, that education needs to be implemented at from the bottom level from the beginning. First, that is one. And coming into the Lalit Suri Hospitality Group, that of course Mr. Suri, as well as his foundation, Keshav Suri Foundation, along with his team, has done a lot. And what we do is, and what we also set an example to other corporates is look into each and every candidate as a same. Of course, there are differences, and there would be differences in selection category because the way a cisgender man or a woman has been educated and has been trained throughout his career, the same way the trans woman or a trans man or an intersex person has not been trained. The same thing which we do it with the specially abled people. So we need to categorize, the corporate need to categorize the selection process first. Second, uh, due to the lack of education, as you rightly mentioned, till a certain age, the trans people uh, find themselves fit inside the community as a whole. But after certain age, they find themselves misfit because they are not being able to gel well or match the wavelength of the normal cisgender men and women. So they push out themselves. And due to lack of money, education, begging is one, then prostitution is one, some or the other way they need to survive. So we need to, a person, the corporate needs to understand the urge of that particular person, whether he or she is really wanting to work, wanting to change the career as Dahlia wanted to, right? As Dahlia wanted to. And secondly, if we cannot expect a trans person coming out from a background to have a fantabulously tremendous, a very good certificate and a background of studies. So we need to analyze and we need to create a training process inside the company who are who are thinking of being an ally or being yeah,
I'm
or
I'm
trying
with
to.
you. I'm with you. But actually, Kiara,
Yeah,
I completely recognize the company has to be aware that it's going to take a little bit of effort, but
absolutely.
the effort is worth it because it will work towards a larger goal of the community. Let me go back here to Mansi Lakshmi. Mansi, do we have Mansi with us? I want to see her from the frame if she's there. Uh, is Mansi Lakshmi there?
Yeah, Rohit.
Okay, Mansi.
Yeah, I'm here.
I tried to get you before. I think the connection had gone off. मानसी, आप मेरे को बताइए कि महाराष्ट्र की एंड पर जो आप आरजू फाउंडेशन पे काम करती हैं, कितना मुश्किल रहा है अभी तक और जो अभी तक इम्प्लीमेंटेशन क्यों नहीं हो पाई है पूरे एक्ट की वहां पर? आपका म्यूट है।
कम्युनिटी को महाराष्ट्र में मतलब एक ऐसा स्टेट है जहां पे पॉलिटिक्स का अखाड़ा जिसे बोला जाता है, और 2014 में नालसा जजमेंट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हमें एक पूरा अधिकार दिया जिसमें हमें पूर्णता स्वीकारा गया हमारे जेंडर को, और उसे सेंसिटाइज करने के लिए महाराष्ट्र में हमें बहुत वक्त लगा। और जैसे जैसे हम सेंसिटाइज करते गए उतने में जहां तक हम पहुंचे उसके पहले तो इलेक्शन आए और सरकार बदल चुकी, और जो नई सरकार आई उसे वापस हमें सेंसिटाइज करने में बहुत वक्त लगा। और कुछ डायनामिक्स ऐसे थे जहां पे बहुत सारी चैलेंजेस हमको फेस करनी पड़ी। जैसे रेशमा ने कहा कि पॉलिसी लेवल पे जहां पे जो डिसीजन मेकर्स है, पॉलिसी मेकर्स है, वहां पे हमारा जो रिप्रेजेंटिंग होना चाहिए वो बहुत कम है। उसके कारण बहुत सारी चैलेंजेस हमको जेंडर को लेके फेस करनी पड़ती है। पहले तो समझाना पड़ता है कि जेंडर क्या है, ट्रांसजेंडर क्या है, वगैरह जो भी है वो। तो बहुत सारी चैलेंजेस के बाद, बहुत ऑफ लॉट्स ऑफ एडवोकेसी के बाद न्यू सरकार ने हमारा वेलफेयर बोर्ड बनाया, और वेलफेयर बोर्ड का अभी रिसेंटली गठन हुआ है। अभी रोल ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड रूरल रेगुलेशन बनना अभी भी बाकी है सही तरीके से। आई थिंक सो महाराष्ट्र एक ऐसा स्टेट है जो सभी तरीके से ट्रांसजेंडर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन को लेके सबसे पीछे रहता है, लॉट्स ऑफ एडवोकेसी करने के बाद भी, क्योंकि यहाँ पे वैसे तो अखाड़ा यूपी को बोला जाता है, पर वैसे देखा जाए तो महाराष्ट्र है। यहाँ पे बहुत सारी एडवोकेसी की नीड्स अभी भी हमारे लिए है, चैलेंजेस बनी रहती है, और वो अभी भी है, ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस हमारा एडवोकेसी चालू है। तो बहुत दिक्कत होती है यहाँ पे, क्योंकि ज्यादा हमारा रिप्रेजेंटिंग नहीं है कहीं पे भी, कोई भी पॉलिटिकल लेवल पे, इसलिए बहुत पीछे चल रहे हैं हम।
तो आप पॉइंट जो बता रहे हैं वो आप बोल रहे हैं कि एक तरीके से आप लोग इकट्ठे ठीक से नहीं हो पाए हैं, कम्युनिटी को ठीक रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं दिला पाए हैं, और ये भी एक चैलेंज रहा है. What Mansi is making a very important point. She's saying the community hasn't come together well to be able to get its rights as well, and that's part of the build up, because the community existed in small pockets and there were competing pockets for areas for doing most of the begging. They were in groups, and because those groups existed in those farms, the whole coming together has not happened. And I think that's where a lot of the work will have to go in making sure that togetherness happens. Let me go back here to Reshma. रेशमा जी, मानसी ने एक बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट बोला कि अगर कम्युनिटी का कोई तरीका नहीं है इकट्ठे आने का और अपनी रिप्रेजेंटेशन को डिमांड करने का, तो शायद मुश्किल होगी जर्नी, और लंबी जर्नी होगी. तो आप लोगों की कम्युनिटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस क्या कर रही हैं इसके अंदर, इनको एक जगह लाने की कोशिश करने की, कि ये लोग सब मिलके काम कर सकें ताकि राइट्स डिमांड कर सकें ठीक तरीके से?
मुझे लगता है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट को लोगों को समझना होगा, ये सरकारों को समझना होगा, और जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, जो अथॉरिटीज हैं, उनको समझना होगा. अखाड़े हर एक चीज के लिए होते हैं, हर एक मुद्दों के लिए होते हैं. आपने खुद देखा है, ये अखाड़े राजनीति पे अगर बिसात बिछाते हैं तो महिलाओं को रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिलता है. लोग सोचते हैं कि जो लोग अपनी जीवन को जी रहे हैं और अपने संघर्ष को जी रहे हैं, और जो पैसा कमाने का सिस्टम उनका बन चुका है, उनसे उनको बाहर निकालने की बात होती है. मैं इन बातों में एकदम से विश्वास नहीं करती हूँ. मैं आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए मुख्यधारा के रास्ते खुलने के लिए सरकारों को तैयार होने की बात मैं करती हूँ. उन्हें लोगों को समझना होगा और सेंसिटिव होना होगा कि वो उनके प्रतिनिधित्व को कैसे देंगे. बाबा साहब ने कहा था कि प्रतिनिधित्व, और वो अगर रिजर्वेशन नहीं दिया जा रहा है तो वो निश्चित तौर पे ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी के लिए मुश्किलें हैं. कम्युनिटी बेस्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो, एनजीओज हो या कोई भी हो, वो एक फोरम पे आए या नहीं आए, ये कोई मायना नहीं रखता है. सबसे ज्यादा मायना रखता है कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति आवाज उठाने वाला नहीं रहे तो क्या उसे दबा दिया जाएगा. सरकारें क्या इसी के लिए होती हैं? सरकारों को सोचना होगा, जो भी अथॉरिटियन है, जो भी इम्प्लीमेंटिंग डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं, उनको सोचना होगा, उनको संवेदनशील होना होगा. क्योंकि अभी ज्योति जी बात कर रही थी तो मुझे भी ऐसा लगा कि वो कुछ एक पॉकेट्स में जाकर के ही बातें कर रही हैं. सबसे पहली बात है कि हमारे लिए स्किल ट्रेनिंग की बात हो जाती है, हमारे लिए छोटे छोटे प्रोग्राम्स देने की बात होती है. लेकिन अगर मैं कह दूं कि मैं वहां पे उस जगह पे इम्प्लीमेंटिंग अथॉरिटी की जगह पर मैं बैठूंगी, तो तुरंत सबकी भौहें तन जाती हैं और उनके चेहरे बदल जाते हैं. सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है कि मैं खुद एक राइट बेस, मतलब उन स्थितियों में मैं पहुंच पाऊं. मेरे कम्युनिटी के लोगों की इच्छा शक्ति में नहीं कमी है, काम करने की स्थितियों में नहीं कमी है. इतना जेंडर के लिए इतना डिवोटेड होते हैं कि अपने घर, परिवार, समाज सभी से लड़ते हुए अपने आप को सामने लेकर के आते हैं. और उन्हें कहाँ पहुंच जाना पड़ता है? बधाइयों में जाना पड़ता है, सेक्स वर्क में जाना पड़ता है, या ट्रेनों में बेगिंग, या बस अड्डे पे बेगिंग करने के लिए. लेकिन मैं इन सब चीजों को बहुत लाइट में नहीं लाना चाहती हूँ. आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए सरकारें क्या दे करके जाएंगी और वो क्या दे रही है, ये सबसे बड़ी सोचने वाली बात है.
रेशमा जी,
हम अगर
रेशमा
कहें
जी,
कि हमारे
रेशमा
पैर
जी,
को,
मैं
हाँ,
थोड़ा सा इंटरजेक्ट करना चाहूंगा मैं आपको. एक सरकारें पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप्स हैं, सरकारें उनको राइट्स देती हैं जो उनका वोट बैंक बन जाते हैं। तो जो मानसी ने भी बोला शायद एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है कि जब तक आप अपनी कम्युनिटी को ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं कर पाएंगी, उनको सबको इकट्ठा नहीं कर पाएंगी और आप डिमांड नहीं कर पाएंगी राइट, शायद सरकारें नहीं डिलीवर कर पाएंगी। और आपने जो कम्युनिटी रिप्रेजेंटेशन की बात कही अच्छी पोजीशंस में, बहुत अच्छी बात है। आई थिंक बहुत ज़रूरी चीज़ है कि वो नौकरियां मिल सकें जहां पर डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर उसको इंटीग्रेट किया जा सके। What I want to explain to the viewers, what she's saying is the rights of the community have to be delivered by the government. But what happens is political groups are just political groups. Governments are not really representative governments today, as we've seen. It delivers justice to people who have a voice, people who are able to come together and ask for their rights. Secondly, representation within the groups that become part of the decision making process. That's an important journey, and that's something that they're demanding. She also mentioned small initiatives that for example, where Jyoti was involved in the Uber project. I think within the larger community there needs to be understanding, and I think what Jyoti was doing was showcasing and implementing a small project, which is a very important step in that direction. If you don't take those small steps, you're never going to come to know as a larger community what are the challenges. Only if you begin looking at it from the perspective of one angle, then possibly you will fall flat. So people from the larger community have to be involved, and then certainly that step by Jyoti and her friend, along with Uber backing it, was a great step forward in that direction. Let me go to Kiara now. Kiara, give me a little closing thoughts. If you were to see 1, 2, 3 steps taken in the next year or two, what would those be?
See, in the coming forward years, what I would like to see is, of course, starting with the education level uh, from the basic education level, the system has to incorporate gender sensitization at a very basic education level. That's the first step towards sensitizing people. If you make them educate, they will understand. Then the community will, the general public would know that there is a community who are the part of the community. There are a couple of people who are a part of the community. So that is number one. So the educational system has to change, first of all. They need to incorporate this. Of course, second is representation, as Reshma ji said. Of course, representation should be there. At the same time, parallelly, the community as a whole should be together to voice out what they actually want. They need to be together and they need to show the urge that yes, we really want to be there where we are looking forward to. And that is the reason why we are fighting towards it. These two are the very basic main foundation that I would like to see. And if these two things are followed, and I'm sure, Rohit, other things would automatically fall in place.
We have to look at the community very, very seriously. I don't think anywhere else in the world the transgender community is so poorly treated. It's not part of the original Indian ethos. The transgender community had a lot of respect, they had a lot of
Absolutely.
bandwidth, but certainly in this new capitalized world, they've been left out of the growth. They've been left out of being who they are, with their rights, being an equal part of the way the world is. It's going to be upon everybody who lives in the country, along with the political groups and the bureaucracy, who has to make sure that the transgender community is not discriminated against. In fact, they will need to support them because it will take effort to bring them out of a few hundred years of discrimination. Thank you for watching. Good night and good luck.